So on a beautiful spring Thursday, I've decided to go for a run in my lunch break. And I always, regardless of what job I was doing, I always used to like to get out at lunch and go for a walk, get some fresh air, get away from the desk, get away from the computer and so on. Now at the moment, I'm mainly visiting clients' houses and also driving. So to stretch out properly, it's a really good idea to get out, stand tall, get moving. But I'm going to do a run today, feeling pretty good. Feel fairly well hydrated, fairly well fueled. Had a decent breakfast, haven't had lunch. I'm going to have something to eat after. Now, I've got a bit of a luxury today in that my lunch break is about 2 hours today, and I know most people only have an hour, but even within an hour you could get out to do half an hour's exercise, still have time to have a shower and get back and eat before you go back to work. So yeah, get out, get moving, enjoy this beautiful spring weather. And you know me, even when the weather's not good I get out, but it just feels extra special when it's this good. So enjoy. Just doing a little warm-up walk. I normally walk to Lloyd Park as a warm-up before I run, and that's about between 1 and 1.5k I think. But today it was just such a lovely spring day. Warm enough to be summer, to be fair. I'm in shorts and t-shirt, just admiring the blossom on the trees and just taking it all in, feeling really appreciative. The sun's on my skin and the warmth, and yeah, just loving life really, just taking time to really appreciate it. Okay, let's get this done. Calf smells lovely. At this point, I could smell the food coming out of the calf, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe I'll run tomorrow. Maybe I'll sit down and have a fry up instead. Really did cross my mind. I was just saying then, I think I just spoke over myself then, but I was saying I hope it's not too muddy, because the last few runs I've done in Lloyd Park I've abandoned because it's been so slippery at points that it was quite hazardous, and I thought I was going to twist an ankle or injure myself. And there's some bits that are under cover and under shade that just get really boggy and waterlogged. But as you'll see, actually it was really mostly very, very dry, so I did do the whole run in the park. Some days you feel better than others. Today wasn't a day where I felt particularly natural at running. I mean, I'm never natural at running, but I felt a bit off. It felt a bit of a slog. The breathing was quite hard and quite laboured, and I kept looking down, waiting for the kind of 1 kilometre markers to ping in my ears, and there was something sort of going on that I just either was missing them or I couldn't hear them. And every time I was sort of glancing at the watch, I couldn't see them. So I was just running blind, as they say, which is obviously what we always did before smartwatches came out. But yeah, something just felt a little bit off. So my main aim for this year is to get running more regularly. So really to put running back on my training program. And by doing that, I just need to, again, as I tell everyone else to be, is kind to yourself or kind to myself and appreciate that there'll be good days and bad days. And I'm just going to work through them. So where today everything felt a little bit laboured, it's just to kind of settle into a pace, because I've decided I'm going to complete 5Ks. I am quite happy to do run walks where I can run a bit faster, run a bit faster as a sort of interval training. But I do want to complete 5Ks and then get them comfortable enough to then start thinking about improving the time. So with that in mind, I'm going to run twice a week, hopefully, maybe more, but I still want to keep everything else going. So I'm cycling, going to the gym, taekwondo and yoga. So something will compromise, it's fine. But if I run twice a week, and I don't mind if one's good and one's not so good, but just being consistent. And I think, again, being kind to yourself, you'll understand that you'll have good days and bad days. And by doing the workouts on those so-called bad days, you're still improving, you're still working for yourself, you're still using your heart and lungs and muscles. So if you just forget about times and PBs and all that kind of stuff, the workout's good for you anyway. So just remember that. And even if I had to stop and walk, I still wouldn't beat myself up about it. I'll throw a fast section in now, just to get through this video a bit quicker and give you some thoughts at the end. But yeah, just enjoying being outdoors, feeling that warm breeze on my skin and just trying to settle into a pace that gets me round, gets me through the 5k, even though my watch isn't helping me to tell me where I am. Just going to do it. It'd be nice if I had an actual turbo boost where I could just kind of tug my ear or press a button on the side of my head and suddenly get sort of 3 times faster. That'd be fantastic. desperately and repeatedly looking at my watch, trying to work out where am I? How far have I gone? Why can I only see calories and time? So I feel like I've settled into a pace now. Not a great pace, but something that gives me the confidence that I'm going to run 5K without stopping. But just a bit unsettled by not knowing how far I've gone and having to kind of guess it. But at least it's dry, I'm not slipping around, and I know I can get all the way around now.
Thank you.
So I've slowed down a bit here. I've kind of lost my rhythm. I think when I ran past that guy, I kind of sped up for a little bit and then couldn't fall back into my normal pace. So I'm just trying to catch my breath and find a comfortable rhythm and pace again, if that makes sense. This is where the penny dropped, and I finally realised that I hadn't even started a run. I was actually doing a martial arts workout, hence why I didn't get any 1 mile or 1 kilometre markers, why I couldn't see the distance. So I was just like gutted. 34 minutes and it hasn't even recorded it. So I took a second to let it sink in, and then for some reason I started running again, not realising, well, I've probably done 5k anyway, what am I running for? But anyway, I'll run a few more meters and then finally called it a day. Well, that was the strangest 5k I've ever run, because I kept looking at my watch and I could see the time, I could see calories, and I'm like, why can't I see the distance? It's kind of putting me off, but I thought, you know what, I know roughly 5k is going to be 2 extended laps, or just under 2 extended laps of Lloyd Park, because that's where they do the park run. So I didn't do exactly the same route as the park run, because I avoided the hill. There's a bit up and down anyway, but there's one big hill and that tends to make me want to puke. I will do it when the running gets easier, but at the moment my goal is just to finish 5k, and times will come later. At the moment I think the fastest I'm doing it was just over 33 and a bit minutes, so maybe 33 and a half, 33:20 maybe was the last one. Today I don't know, I stopped running at about 34:41. Well, 34 I stopped, clicked that I had my watch set to martial arts workout, and then right, okay, that's not going to show me distance. But then I just had a little run just to run a bit further at a slightly better pace and finish it off. So when the running gets easier, the next goal would be to dip below 30 minutes. So about 10 years ago I was probably doing it in 25, but I'm 10 years older. And 10 years older when you're 20 to 30 isn't a big deal. 30 to 40, probably not so bad. But beyond that, if you're not running, you'll go downhill. So I gave up running through knee injuries and took a while to get back into it. So, you know, when you've worked hard, when your eyes are stinging from sweat. Excellent. I'm going to just put these on a sec just to get over sun in my eyes. So it's a gorgeous afternoon. It feels really warm actually. It's more like summer today. Let's hope it lasts. People are looking at me kind of weird. Why is a man talking to a selfie stick? Anyway, who cares? It's 2026. So yeah, the main goal of running. So when I stopped running, and probably as I rehabilitated my knees, I should have run a lot earlier, but I was using cycling and other forms of exercise to build up my cardiovascular. But running is a thing that if you don't do it, you lose it. So use it or lose it, classic thought process. I'm waffling now, but really glad that I came out for this run. Oh, hello little doggy. Hello. I've got to go home, shower and then get to work. Somehow I'm a little over the time I expected to be done. I think I dilly-dallied leaving the house, so I've just about got enough time to shower and get back in the car for my last appointment. But yeah, running, I think, best bang for buck for endorphins and spiking your mood, that runner's high kind of thing, is a real deal. And it is very pretty up here when it's sunny. As I jog past, you might have seen the daffodils. So I love this time of year. My garden's got all sorts of things blooming. So yeah, if you want to get out in your lunchtime, it doesn't have to be a run. Again, as with everything, do what you can do. Do what's within your own capabilities, and that changes. So like I said before, if I got out when I was less able, I would get out for a 10-minute walk, and in that time I might listen to like a little walking meditation or something that would clear my mind from work or anything else that was going on. Running tends to be a lot more automatic for clearing the mind, because you're starting off, for me anyway, focusing on a pace and the breathing and all those sort of things. So you kind of get in that meditative state quite quickly without even trying. So that's great. And if I get, or should I say when I get more comfortable running, it'll be even better. When I used to run comfortably before my knee injuries, I used to do a 10k every Sunday, and that was probably the best mental state I was in as well, because I used to forget all the journey, not figure out how I'd got to certain points in the journey, kind of have that, what I've heard to refer to as highway hypnosis, literally just focusing on the run and enjoying the run and feeling the pace, and then suddenly being 2/3 through the run. And had all sorts of, in my case, it felt like I had all sorts of unconscious problem solving going on in the time as well that I was running. I'd kind of get to the end of my run and just go, light bulb moments, go, oh yeah, why don't I do this, why don't I do that? So problem solving as well as coming up with great ideas. So I do get that a little bit with cycling, but nowhere near as much as I did with running. Anyway, I think I'm going to turn this round just for a bit of a view, and the rest of my walk home I'll do on my own. So take it easy. Can you hear that bird song? It's lovely too. Right, I'm going to turn the camera off now. That just leaves me to say, if you've stayed this long, thanks for watching, and have a great day, whatever you're doing. Take care.